Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. At whatever time you're watching this at the moment, I'd like to welcome you to this session. My name is Oluwa Pelumi, where I am a master of ceremonies, a public speaking coach, a thought leader, and a Thevios. And this is to share ideas about the seven mountains of influence, seven mountains of influence. And these are mountains that when a person climbs, the person becomes a voice. The person becomes a voice. Some of the top persons you know in the world today are on that mountain. In fact, the reason for which you are able to know them is because they are on the top of their game. There are many people who are not known, not because they are not doing so much, but because they are not on the mountain of influence. And you have seven of them. You have religion, you have family, you have education, you have government, you have media, you have arts and entertainment, and then you have business. Okay, religion, family, education, government, media, arts and entertainment, and number seven, you have business. Think about the people you know. Think about the people that you even claim are your mentors today, your role models today. Many of them are standing on that mountain. The Bible says to us as Christians that a city set on the hill cannot be hid. A city set on the hill cannot be hid. Meaning that when a particular city is on the mountain, okay, it could be a person, it could be a business, it could be a brand, for as long as that particular business or brand is on the mountain, is in a visible place, that mountain, that building or the person or the brand cannot be hid. That's where the brand is able to wield influence, where the person can call for one and then get 1,000. We're going to get to that in a moment. But the focus of this first video is to share with you about how to navigate the system in such a way that you wield influence when it has to do with the media. When it has to do with the media, we're talking about the media mountain of influence, the media mountain of influence. And but maybe we should start from what influence means. I do not intend for this to be too long. I will make it as short as possible, I promise. Influence is the effect of a person's words and deeds through whatever means on a person and people, from the conscious to the subconscious, whether positively or negatively, without being forced. Influence is the effect of a person's words and deeds through whatever means on a people or a person, from the conscious to the subconscious, whether positively or negatively, without being forced. The words in bold, the words emboldened are critical words, important and relevant to our conversation in this series. That influence is the effect, meaning that there is a cause and then there's an effect. Now, the cause is not being highlighted here because, in fact, even the person who exudes the character that brings about the effect of a particular thing, that brings about the result of a particular thing, may not even know that he's within that. Somebody says something to you, and then all of a sudden you begin to act in that line without being forced or coerced. Somebody says, go online, do this and do that, and then you do it without asking questions. Because the human spirit is the spirit that fights instruction. We have the tendency to fight an instruction if we don't have a legitimate reason to do it. There are things that people do just because they are told to do it. There are things that people do because they have to do it. But there are things that people do because they want to do it. Told to do it, have to do it, want to do it. And when you get to the point where people do things for you because they want to do it without being forced. That's a level of influence. If people do things just because you want them to do it, then when you are not around, they will do a dirty job. They would skip classes. They won't be present when they should be present. They won't do what they have to do because they don't want to do it. But when it gets to a point where your words and deeds begin to shape the mindset of the people and construct their thoughts in such a way that even without thinking twice, they are able to do what it is that you have asked them to do. Sometimes it isn't even about what you have asked them to do, it's about the fact that they see you do it, and then they immediately pick that if they do what you are doing, they will be as incredible as you are. That's the level of influence. I remember that some years ago, when I was younger, there was a player called Gallas. Who knows Gallas here? Gallas. Gallas used to be an Arsenal player. And then if you have heard of Gallas today, Gallas today, that's where the name of the hairstyle came from. You must have heard Gallas. Like I want somebody goes into a barber shop, for instance, and says, I want to barb Gallas. Anybody knows Gallas here? Yes. Now that hairstyle was named after a man who always made that hairstyle. Every time he wanted to play a football match for Arsenal, he would barb that style. Always going to the barber shop almost every week to refine and make sure that the shape, the cut is still sharp. Galas. And Nigerians, people who have never met galas in their life before. In fact, to even buy gala for some people is difficult. They started barbing galas. Or go to a barber shop, for instance, and say they want to barb galas. And the man will ask them, what do you mean? He said, let there be one gala in the middle of the let there be one gala in the center of my head. Galas there. Just because of seeing someone barb that. Effect person's words or deeds through whatever means, through writings, through songs, through different ways. You must have heard of, there was a time when the guy called Naira Marley mobilized guys to put on trousers without belt. It was a virus at the time. One man moving thousands of youths to put on their trousers without belt. Can you imagine? The mafians got themselves mafians. Mafians don't respect anybody. And then people began to exude the character without being forced or coerced. So influence is the effect of a person's words and deeds through whatever means on a people, a person, from the conscious to the subconscious, whether positively or negatively, without being forced. Now, this is an example of a positive influence. This is a picture of Pastor Adeboye leading the people of the Redeemed Christian Church of God on a campaign against killings. If you see the number of persons, if you see persons in this picture, you'll be amazed that one man can wield so much influence that when he calls for 1, 1,000 shows up. That's influence. Strong influence there. Mobilizing people for God. And this can apply to other industries as well, other aspects as well. But this is one man wielding influence in religion. I mentioned to you the other time when I was mentioning to you the 7 mountains of influence, I mentioned religion, I mentioned family, I mentioned education, I mentioned government, I mentioned media, I mentioned arts and entertainment, and I mentioned business. Pastor Adeboye is an influential voice when it comes to religion. He is on the top of the mountain of the religion mountain of influence. One man moving millions of people. Let's now talk about the media mountain of influence. The media mountain of influence. What is media? And when I was thinking about what to put together for this session, I asked myself what media means to me. And this is what it is. You will not find this definition in the dictionary. Neither will you find this definition on Google. Okay, this was gotten from an intense moment of thinking. Media is whatever means that can help you take your product, ideas, ideologies, information, and handiwork to the eyes of more than one person in a way that can influence their decision in your favor. Media is whatever means that can help you take your product, ideas, ideologies, information, and handiwork to the eyes of more than one person in a way that can influence their decision. Whatever means that enables you to communicate your product, communicate your ideas, communicate your ideologies, communicate information, communicate and work to the eyes and ears of more than one person in a way that can influence a decision in your favor is media. Think of it. Now that thing you're thinking about is correct. That thing you're thinking about right now is correct. Media is whatever means, whichever way. And I will show you some means that we use. What do we communicate? What do we send out? What is Facebook trying to do to you? What is Twitter trying to do to you? What is Instagram trying to do to you? What is LinkedIn trying to do to you? It's a platform that ensures that people can communicate their thoughts, their ideas, their products, their handiwork, information to you so that your decision is being influenced. We talk about the evolution of media. And you have this on the screen that you can see that newspaper has been on ground for a very long time, from 1825, for a very long time. And then we graduated to using phones, and then to motion pictures, and then to radio from 1925. And then you have the cable, you have the television, you have the cable TV, you have the internet. You see that, the internet. And this is the progression by which we have seen media evolve. And all of these were and are mediums that ensures that a person's product, ideas, ideologies, information, and the work are projected to the eyes of more people. That's what all of these are designed to do. And have you done it well? Yes. Go on your phone now, go on Google, punch something, go on Facebook, punch something, you see a particular product pop up. If you go to Konga, for instance, to search a particular thing, and then you now go to a different site, most likely you will see an ad that will suggest more of what you searched for. Has anybody experienced that before? Yes. You will see an ad that suggests what it is that you searched for on Google or on Konga. That's how it's designed to be. Products, ideas, ideologies, handiwork, your brand, whatever it is, your business is being made visible to the eyes of more people. That's media. And these were and are still the ways by which people communicate their essence to the world. Newspaper, for instance, it's amazing how the newspaper still exists today. Okay, there are people who will never buy an Android phone. And what they need to keep themselves in this world of men is, is to buy newspaper. I recall that when I was trying to gain admission many years ago, I used to go to Aware of what was happening. I will run to, I was teaching in a school at the time. But on this particular day, on this day, it was in, I think it was month of August, they were on holiday. They were on holiday, so I had to fill that time with something that I love to do. And because I'd always loved speaking, I'd always loved, I like wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I always seek for knowledge. I always try my best to seek for knowledge. And I saw that as an avenue for me to be able to run there, get paper, and then run back. Tell you how far back that was. You see that evolution of media. We live in a time now where media has taken a different form. You have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, you have the web, you have Twitter, you have different platforms that affords you the opportunity of even getting your message to the eyes of more people. Meaning that if you want to communicate your ideas, product, ideologies, information, and the work to more people, it's now a possibility. You don't have to be popular to do it. You can sit in your room, make a post, and then not less than 100 persons who you have posted. In fact, they even give you the opportunity of knowing how many persons viewed your WhatsApp status. Just imagine if it's impossible for us to see the number of persons who view our WhatsApp status. How many persons will be discouraged by now? Am I correct? New media. What does the media do? Like I told you, this will be very short. I intend to just I had to do an intense study on how to package it together and present it to you in a way that I don't take too much of your time. Just come here, get the wisdom, and then you leave. What are the ways to package, take advantage of the media space? Or what does media do to you? Yes, what does media do to you? Number one is it helps to shape culture. Media can help you shape culture. It can help define the way of life of the people. You can watch something online now, and when you watch it again, maybe 4 or 5 times, it begins to have an impact on how you live your life. I'm a beneficiary of this part of media. Sometimes it's how somebody dresses. Sometimes you just look at that and say, I like the way this person dressed. I'm going to dress this way. In fact, it also informed the kind of hairstyle I started barbing. Remember I mentioned about influence, how that somebody's name can become the reference point to describe something popular. President Obama came on board, said he had this hairstyle, and people who wanted to barb their hair would go to the barber shop and say, I want to barb Obama, because of the reference to a man's name. Media can help shape culture. It can help alter the way of life of the people. Number two, it can fix and plant mindset. Mindsets are very, very powerful. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you don't strategically monitor what goes through your eye gates and your ear gates, you'll be amazed at how you begin to respond to circumstances. There are 2 gates in every man's life that define his destiny. 2 gates. In fact, these are the 2 gates that define what gets into your heart. Because your heart then programs your life in such a way that what you are thinking about is what you become eventually. Your eye gate, what you see, and your ear gate, what you hear. The person who is not afraid, in fact, I have not seen a man who is deaf and dumb. No. Who is deaf and blind and is afraid? I have not seen any. He doesn't know what to be afraid of. He doesn't know what to be afraid of because he can't hear and he can't see. Because usually when you hear, the reason you are afraid that there is a dog somewhere is because you can hear. If the idea is, if you did not hear the barking of a dog, you'll be afraid. You will walk into the room without even knowing, because you can't see, you can hear. Two gates in every man's life. Now, but when you are online on social media and you are seeing things consistently, what that does to you is that it puts you in a place where you allow what you are seeing to frame the circumference of your destiny. And before you know, you will be shocked how you begin to exhibit some of the things that you have seen. Media can be used to plant or fix mindsets. Some days ago, protests broke out in Nigeria. It wasn't that there was a town hall meeting that had everyone in it and said we're going to go and protest tomorrow and all of that. It was an online thing that migrated or that transitioned into something that became violent, hijacked by hoodlums. Something posted online can cause somebody to shed tears somewhere, which brings me to my third point: propel and inspire. When you read the quote online that pertains to what you are going through, something happens to you. Have you noticed? You are now inspired the more. You're inspired the more to push. You're inspired the more to drive on. You're inspired the more to do even more things. Propel and inspire. You can listen to a clip now from Les Brown, from Uruakwelumi, from anybody you think you respect, and then all of a sudden you are fired, your spirit is fired up to commence work on that thing. To inspire means to breathe life into something that is about to die. To inspire means to inject, to pass life across. It means that the person who will pass it to you must have life himself and pass the life to you so that you are able to step into the moment and be what you ought to be. Number 4, make you money. Who doesn't want money in this life? Let me know in the comments. You don't want money in this life. Please let me know. Let me know. We need money. In fact, life without resources will lead to frustration. Life that cannot, when a man cannot afford the things that he desires to have at the barest minimum, food, shelter, clothing, it becomes violent. It becomes desperate. Because we were not designed not to have them. We're not designed to just be around and just do. We're designed to have resources, at least to be able to meet food, shelter, clothing. And when a man cannot meet his 3 top needs, he becomes agitated. He becomes terrified. Now he enters into preservation mode. Anything he sees, he wants to take advantage of anything because he believes that nothing good can come out of his own destiny. Make you money. Some people put out products online and make money. I was online some days ago and I saw how that you said that Pastor Jerry is the highest paid YouTuber in Nigeria. From when he started his early morning prayers to now, he has been paid billions of naira by YouTube. You can make money. Next thing is get and keep customers. I'll give you an example. There was a time I put out a picture of myself emceeing at an event. And then somebody saw my picture and reached out to me to be the MC at his wedding. I used the media to project my work, and then it got me customers, and then ensured that maybe I was able to make money from that. Now, sometimes the way MCing works is you don't expect somebody who got married and you were the MC to divorce, right? So that you're able to MC another event that involved any of them. To the other events that you can anchor for them could be their birthdays if they want to celebrate it, launching of the book if they want to celebrate it, burial ceremony of somebody old in the family that they invite to come and MC. But usually after weddings, you have to wait a while because birthdays don't happen every single day. As a business person, you can take advantage of the media space to project your work. Number six, spread a propaganda. Now, some people with ulterior motive can spread a propaganda that ensures that the people come out and become very violent. Politicians do this a lot. Media can be used to spread the propaganda. They will paint a narrative to you that is so scripted. You may not find a loophole. Media is that powerful. Form perception. If I post a picture of a popular pastor with cigarettes now, the perception of people immediately changes. In fact, they will go to that person's church tomorrow nonetheless, or whenever it is nonetheless, but they will keep doing their research on the matter. It can form perception. If I want to project, somebody can maybe just go to the airport, for instance, takes his phone and snaps himself with the plane showing behind him and says, wow, what a good flight we had. Whereas the guy did not go anywhere. Anywhere. You imagine anywhere. Somebody can snap inside the car and ask somebody to snap him and point towards the car and say, see what the Lord has done. Somebody who has been faithful, committed to his task, well doing, sees that particular post online and begins to think, how does it even pay? This guy that was dull in school, very unserious. Look at him now driving his own car. See what the Lord has done for him. Whereas he was just trying to paint a narrative that is not true. Have you seen people like that before? They try to make you feel as though they are doing well, whereas they are suffering. If there's anybody watching this right now and you're struggling, could it be that you have painted a narrative that you are self-sufficient, and the people have now left you to be on your own, and that's not nice. Here you have the impact that one man can make. I figure that I will need music on the background so that you're able to flow with me. Are you there? Let me see if this works. Just allow me a bit. Okay, let's hope it works. All right, thank you. Working. All right, I guess it works. Oh, let me see if this is better. Oh wow. Let me just stop it here so that. Okay, maybe we could do this. Let's do this. In 2022, when I was preparing for this presentation, I didn't even know that it's 2 years already. Pastor Nathaniel Bassey asked people to do something. Look at the tweet. He says, "Can we make this picture our profile picture and tweet at 12 noon? Let's release this precious ointment over our land and nation. Jesus." Songs of Solomon 1 verse 3. Thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. He made that post, and within minutes, 500 posts of it, 500,000 impressions in 2 hours. Can you imagine so much influence? Now check out the date for the tweet and the date of this post next to it that has 500 posts and 500,000 impressions in 2 hours. In the same day, June 7, 2022. Can you see that there? One man influencing the people. In fact, for me, I just observed that everywhere, I saw Jesus everywhere. I thought, as the rapture happened, that I'm not aware because I'm supposed to follow batch A. I was surprised, only to realize that it was something initiated by Pastor Nathaniel Bassey. Influence is very powerful. As I close, it's 30 minutes already. As I close, you need to outline your values because we live in a world that will test your values, it will test your resolve. People will test you. And when you are not careful and you allow them to get under your skin, the things you hold so dear will be revealed and you now become exposed. You must list out the things that are most important to you. Integrity is one value, honesty is another, hard work is another. You must define your values. You don't leave your values to be defined by the society or people. You decide your value and then you act out your value. That's the way to influence the people. In fact, not just about influencing the people, when you don't define your values, you become vulnerable. Anything goes in your life. Because what actually makes you valuable are your values. That's why somebody wants to keep you in the place of work. Somebody wants to have you there as a staff. Somebody wants to have you there as a PA. Somebody wants to have you to go with him to a particular place because the person knows that there are sets of values that you keep to that you don't default on. You don't default on. Number two, you want to identify your skills. What are the skills you have? Mine is public speaking. Mine is communication, writing skills as well, and other skills. And so what that has done to me is that every time I want to do something, I try my best to align my values with my skills. What do I mean by that? There are words you can't hear me say. Not because if I say it, I will be beaten, I will get slapped, but because they don't align with my values. They don't line up with my values. Your values are very, very important. Your values are very, very important. Your values are very, very important. You then have to research what platform can help you reach more people. What platform can help you reach larger audience than your family members? Because if the people who know you for what you are, what you do, are your family members, you will not make profit from that thing. They will tell you, well done, you're doing well, but you won't make money. You need to be able to research platforms that afford you the privilege of making money, but not just making money, of reaching people. So it's more about the reach first than the money part. How many persons can I reach with this product? How many persons can I reach with this particular good? Then you can then begin to talk about money when you have gotten the audience. Number four, chat responsibly. There are ways you chat that you lose your helpers. There are ways you chat that it speaks volume about your person. There are ways you chat that just tells that you are not ready for what you're asking for. When I was thinking of what to put as number four, it didn't even occur to me that sometimes even abbreviating is not acting responsibly. There are people you chat with, you don't abbreviate. You don't abbreviate. You write in full. Never abbreviate everything, even God, GD. Why not? Oh, where is the? There are things you don't see over the phone because these are people will screenshot it, keep it for a while. If the person's phone has a very powerful storage, that thing you have sent will be there for centuries. Chat responsible. Number 5, think before you post. Don't post before you think. Regret is what you do after you have done something you believe you didn't think about truly. Think before you post. Number 6, be consistent. Be consistent. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this has impacted you in some way. Let me know if this has done a job in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you as soon as possible. Have a wonderful time. If you have any questions to ask, please ask. I will respond and share with you insights that will help you progress. All right, then. Have a wonderful day.